Bev's Video Kingdom is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
I can brag your favorite podcast. Let's start this thing.
The Scott's oh yeah button on.
Oh yeah.
Turn that shit on.
Yeah.
Is it Thursday, Brad?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Scott. It's Thursday. It's draft day. The day you guys have all been waiting for. If you haven't listened to it, we covered Wedding Crashers, the 2005 smash. And now we're moving on to our draft topic. Our last winner, first winner of the 2022.
Oh, God, I forgot that you won.
Hey, Scotch, did I win that first draft?
Oh, yeah.
That's Brad saying
That's
that.
Brad.
Who
Brad
knows
won it.
this? I've been sandbagging. You sandbagging son of a bitch.
Sandbagging son of a bitch.
You know this. I've been sandbagging in the preseason. I was like, oh, preseason? We're talking about preseason.
We're talking about that 35 pod preseason?
Practice. It's on now. It's on. I've got that one dub. Let's keep it going.
Wasn't a fucking preseason. Zach was just heartbroken last week. Everyone, including Brad, thought that Zach had it in the bag.
Yeah.
I would have voted for you.
You know
It's
what?
not the first time I thought I had the best draft and didn't win.
Well, now that we've got Scotch-o-metrics back.
It was the first time I thought you had the draft.
Yeah, Nate's
draft.
feeling super confident today. He's like,
Scotch-o-metrics coming to judge the draft.
yeah, how's he going to get here via the World Wide Web? Because CDC says he can't come over.
He's got a bad case of the Rona.
My Rona.
Yeah.
Most memorable BFFs.
Oh, we're still talking about that? I thought we were talking about Scott having the corona.
We'll talk to him when he comes on.
We're trying to win championships.
We
here.
want to shame him in
Yeah,
advance.
see, you're not focused. That's why you don't win.
I had to text Scott today, and I was like, hey, I'm planning on going hard on you having the coronavirus. Is that okay with you? And he was like, I expect nothing less.
He's like, you guys have a brand to protect. I'm like, I don't know what brand is shaming people about having COVID, but I guess that's ours.
I don't want to have
That's our lane
That's
right
our
there.
lane.
I don't want to have an awkward conversation with Nate after the podcast where he's like, bro, you talked nothing about, you didn't even say anything about Scott having COVID, and all you did was talk about me shitting my pants. Like, I fucking am offended right now.
Equal opportunity.
I guess that's fair. That's in line.
That was good times.
All right, so we're drafting. So inspired by the Wedding Crashers duo of John and Jeremy.
You think they get drafted tonight?
I don't know. I would have.
It's a long
I think before
list.
prep, I would have said yeah. Now I don't know.
There's so fucking many. And so we also decided on the text today that there's that groups are available.
Yeah,
Not just two BFFs. Like, it could be a group of BFFs.
crew of BFFs.
Well, I mean, that's going to be arguable because we'll have to say, what is that truly a group BFF?
Like
That's-
Ocean's 11.
it's
I'm joking, by the way.
like us, like BVK, BFF BVKs.
Well, yeah, but
BFFs. It's like we're a crew,
That's a given.
I mean, we really are
I'm
BFFs,
gonna
so
draft
that doesn't
us.
count.
All right. So
right, Bradley.
what's the order?
We have an order. And you know what? On New Year's Eve,
We have an order.
we have an order. Order. That's for all my British Parliament friends. Order.
Oh, you're out of
All right, so we were watching New Year's Eve, the ball drop, and we were actually watching not the Seacrest one. We were watching the CNN with
Sydney, Australia.
No, we were
That's
watching.
what we watched. That's what we watched.
We watched the CNN with who's the CNN main host dude?
Oh, Anderson Cooper.
Anderson Cooper, and then the other dude is
Mario Lopez.
Andy Cohen,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
and Andy Cohen was drunk as fuck.
Oh, really?
Like
Pretty
visibly
funny.
drunk?
Oh,
That's fun.
They were doing
So-
tequila shots like crazy, and like it's actually kind of became a thing. And
I
like,
actually think Andy Cohen's pretty funny already. I think him drunk would be even funnier.
I would like
oh,
to
he was
see
chewing
Yeah.
out Mark Zuckerberg. He said that like Journey was playing something. He's like, Journey's not real Journey unless you have Steve Perry. What? He's just going off. It was
Speaking
great.
that truth.
But
Who's this Filipino kid fronting the band?
in the middle of his rant, though, he's just like, "Hey, next BVK BVK podcast, I want to see a draft order of Nate, Zach,
What?
Nick, Brad. He just
That's
like
what Andy
screamed
Cohen
it out.
said?
He screamed it out, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
So what is it? Nate, Zach, Nick, Brad?
Yeah, he said
That's
Nate,
weird.
Zach, Nick, Brad,
Right on New Year's Eve and everything.
live, dude, for all the world to see. I was like, man, maybe that's gonna help our
A
numbers.
lot of people listen to the draft though.
But he was hella drunk, so I don't know. Maybe he shouldn't have said that.
He's,
Zach,
I mean,
Nick,
dude,
and
I'm
Brad.
glad he shouted us out, bro. I mean, he like knows Kardashians and shit.
Yeah, man.
Talk about wanting to get some views.
He got hated on CNN, got hated on for him being so drunk, and they basically said, "Yeah, you know what? We're gonna have him on next
We
year."
should have got him to hate on Scott about having the Rona.
Oh shit, Andy Cohen would have
Damn
been
it,
like,
Andy. Come
this
on, Andy.
fucking guy.
Did we decide that this was the best or the most memorable?
Whatever you want to do.
I think it's the
First
same.
picker.
I think, yeah.
How long do we need to stall, Nate?
This is the
No, I mean, there's two or three that are in the like in the chamber here, and I just don't know which way to go.
I won with the rap last time on the.
yeah, because
I'll
the
just
rap's
say
the
that.
best pick, and that's weird that Andy Cohen would give you that. But Nate, just rest assured, in my opinion, this is going to be one of those ones where there's 86,000 people in the mentions that are like, "What about this? I can't believe you didn't mention this. It's an absolute travesty you didn't mention this."
No, I agree.
So-
I'm just saying, but to go for the one of one, there are a couple.
There's
there
not
are
a lot of one.
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments about who to go, where to go.
I 100% did not want one of one for this one.
So I think what we need to concentrate on, guys, is like friendship.
Yeah,
Not coworkers, not people that are forced to be together, but people.
Oh
that
no
are
no
really
no!
friends.
This you better be picking friends. I mean, what
Okay,
the hell?
'cause
Are we doing?
but there are people that are like work together that are great friends.
Maybe.
All right, well, that
Just let him do it.
all right. So I'm gonna I'm just gonna go with my heart here, and I'm gonna go with Will and Chucky from Good Will Hunting as my one of one.
I love it.
I thought about the whole crew, but it's really Will and Chucky, right? If I'm still, we're still doing this when we're however old, I'm going to fucking kill you. That's a fact. I love it. I just,
I thought you were talking about the podcast for a second. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's like, where's he going with this?
I just butchered another
You'll be
line.
buried on my fucking property, and no one will ever find you.
If you're still drinking my beer,
Love you
when
guys.
when we're 50, I'm going to kill you all. No, so Will and Chucky, Good Will Hunting, that's my number one.
That's a solid pick. I gotta say that was in my first rounders. That's definitely one that needed.
That was in my green colored.
There you go. Love it. I see
Area.
that. Oh, he's got that beautiful color chart there.
God, dude, this is tough. So I got second pick,
You
and
do.
I was kind of leaning into Damon Affleck, and with my first pick, no matter where it went, had it pretty high here, guys. So this is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm going to go with the first one that my wife and I thought of today. We talked about this in the kitchen, and we both at the same time said the most famous on-screen best friends are Han and Chewie from Star Wars.
Fuck you. I
Throughout
was
the entire Star Wars, like when Han dies and Chewie lets out that like whatever that noise is,
dude, Zach, you don't even know. I was just having that discussion in my head of what I was going to say when I took them with the fourth pick. I was like, I'm definitely taking with the fourth pick, and this is what I'm going to say, and it's basically exactly that.
I mean, they're best buddies.
Dude,
Really.
and then there's the most egregious thing in the whole thing when Leia comes back after when Rey comes back after Chewie just lost his best friend.
Oh, right.
And Princess Leia goes up and gives Rey a big hug and doesn't even fucking talk to Chewie.
Yeah, dude. She isn't even giving a pet, bro. Not even like a little scratch behind the ears.
I'm like, she knows their relationship. Why the fuck is she going up to Rey?
well,
rather
to
than
be
Chewie?
fair, Chewie should have got on his back and showed his belly and like kind of shook around.
He should have presented himself.
Yeah, exactly. And then she would have been like, "Oh, he wants some love too. Give him a little scratch."
Chewie's a being, man. He's not an animal.
Everyone knows that she's a Wookieist.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe,
she
maybe
is.
it is, man. That's a problem.
Wookiees. I mean, Chewie's was in love with her for a long time, dude. He had to watch like the whole love triangle between Luke and Han and all that, dude.
Oh, he laughs at Han one, and Han goes, "Laugh it up, furball."
Yeah, he wanted him some Carrie Fisher.
All right, where are you going, Nick?
God,
He cannot decide.
it's so hard.
Even,
There's
even
so
with his
many.
color coding, he just can't pick.
I have my green, but then I got 3 that I've narrowed down to in the green.
There's a lot of green.
Maybe throw a dart. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
If you,
I
do, you
can
got,
call up Andy Cohen real quick.
do you have a 3-sided coin?
Nick looks pained right now.
He looks like Scott with coronavirus, just like pained and pooping.
He's got the poop version.
One of the symptoms of coronavirus is pooping your pants.
Now, it wasn't.
If pooping your pants is cool,
Consider me Miles Davis.
consider me Miles Davis.
That scene would be way grosser if it was.
All right.
It's just got
Dude,
brown stains.
I showed you the scene from the Workaholics Die Hard movie, right, where the girl poops her pants.
Wait, I told you I watched it. Right?
I know, yeah, it was fucking. Isn't that spectacular?
Dude, it's a great movie.
All right. Nothing spells friendship like driving off a cliff together. Thelma and Louise.
Oh man, I thought I might catch them on the rap.
It's also like an iconic, just scene of just the hands going off the cliff. That's it. I mean, you're like, oh shit, wow. All right, they're good friends.
I mean, they're
the most memorable best friends.
They're the title of the movie is Thelma and Louise.
Right.
It wasn't like the title of the movie wasn't like Young Bad Pitt.
No, it wasn't.
It was Thelma and Louise.
Oh, Brad! After you got
Young
the
Brad.
rookie stolen right out from under you.
Look at the big brain on Brad.
There's one thing about doing this after we've been doing it a while and knowing that Scotch Beck is the judge is that it affects my thinking.
100%.
Me too.
Because there's things I would want to take right now that I think if it was like an impartial judge that I don't
You
really
can just
know,
say it. You were going to take.
I would just
you
go.
were just going to take a Pixar duo, and you just won't do it now.
Disney Pixar is
There's a lot of
hurting me
those.
right now because I'm like, you know what?
No one's better than Woody.
No,
I know
there's
Scotch Beck.
Well, I would say that. What's
No, let's
interesting
not
here.
talk about it. Let's not spin around because they might be
No.
picked still. Let's not
Yeah.
get
I'm just
crazy.
saying that there's some interesting dimensions in this draft that aren't usually there.
They're not being
Dude,
picked.
Sully and Mike Wazowski.
Well, my first pick right here, I have no problem taking because this is a solid pick, and it's not going to be like, oh, that's fucking Brad's pick.
Kermit and Miss Piggy.
I'm going with Goose and Mav.
Damn it!
That was my number
Get
one,
him. I
too.
can't believe that.
You
So I
thought you
have-
were going to get them, really?
Yeah,
I have
no.
Goose. I have Goose and Maverick written down on
That's
my paper.
in your green, right, Nick?
That was my number 2.
I have Goose and Mav written down, and then in the column I wrote Scotch Beck.
You think that he's going to be all about that?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a totally great pick. But now
the man
I
loves.
want
In our
the
text,
man loves Top
in our
Gun.
text, I was going to say, in our text chain we had going of most memorable BFFs, I was going to say Goose and the Canopy.
We had a very terrible text thread going earlier about best friends that were maybe mildly to very severely inappropriate.
You'll
Matt Mav and his jeans.
Oh man,
Slider and his
We'll
farts.
post those on the socials later.
Slider and his
Post those
farts.
later. Okay, so my second pick, and this might reveal myself, but I don't care because they are one of the best duos of all time. They have just love for each other. They support each other,
Jane Silent
and they
Bob.
save the world together.
Buzz and
I
Woody.
knew he was gonna go
That is
Jane Silent
Bill
Bob.
and Ted
Bill and Ted.
shit.
Oh,
from Bill and
okay.
Ted's Excellent Adventure.
That
I had
one's
you-
more defensible.
I had you fucked up, Brad.
I can get all that shit later. I know how to draft.
Yeah, you're correct. You can't.
He knows how not to reach. All right.
Nate, this one ain't making it to you. Andy and
Oh,
Red,
you son of a-
Shawshank Redemption.
You sandbagging son of a bitch.
I didn't even write it down because I was like, Nate's gonna pick that.
They are growing old together on rocking chairs.
I literally have my wife, who's awesome, got me a T-shirt that I wore the last pod that said
Get busy living.
no, it's a fishing service with their it's Dufresne and
Oh my
yeah.
god.
and what's Red's last name?
Red Pollard?
Anyway,
Red.
it
Have
has
you guys even seen the movie?
anyway, it's their last names with like a fishing service. And it has
I love
a
that I'm
boat.
laughing at it.
and it's Zay Watanejo. It was the location. It's a great shirt. So,
I need
yeah,
that shirt,
I
too.
was gonna
Brad, what was his last name?
Red
Freeman?
Red Freeman. All right, Zach. It's time to tank this thing. Let's see where you go.
Zach's
I don't
first
think
pick
it's
was
my
great.
pick. Is it my
your
pick?
pick? Oh, it's 100% your pick.
Motherfucker.
Pull off the Band-Aid, bud.
Okay,
Go to sleep.
Leave Nate some scraps.
Yeah, leave me some stuff.
I'm gonna get one that people might have issue with because I really was trying to go like best friends, like best buddies, like
Yeah,
for forever, BFFs.
Nick legit said BFFs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going Forrest Gump and Bubba
Oh,
in
love
Forrest
it.
Gump
I love it, Zach.
because
I don't even have that on my list.
because
Sentimental
it's
son of a
probably
bitch.
one of your top 10 movies in the world.
He was my best good friend.
Oh, you're not a huge Forrest Gump
I like
guy?
Forrest Gump.
I feel like I've
but
been lied to.
It's fallen significantly.
I'm the Forrest Gump
Dude,
fan.
Forrest Gump's so sick.
I really like it, but I'm not. It's not that for me.
So when I thought about it, I was like, okay, are they best friends? I was like, wait a second. Yeah, maybe they had a short time together, but
They
are
got together
immediate.
when they were
Forrest Gump's only friend besides Jenny.
and they were little kids, right?
Well, and Gary Sinise jokes like, "Are you brothers?"
No, Forrest Gump meets him in Vietnam.
He meets him in the army.
Yeah, he meets him in
When
training.
He goes to the.
Yeah.
Remember, he's the one that let him
Basic
sit on
training.
the bus.
You're right.
So, I mean, that's what I was thinking about. But then I was like, you know what? That's where you make friends. You make friends when you get to something new, like the army or college or a new school or whatever. That's when you get.
I
your
feel like
friends.
he's the only guy, and the reason why I picked it because Bubba's the only guy that didn't like wasn't like tongue in cheek like this dude's dumb. You know what I mean? Like he talked to him
No, they were
real the whole time.
100%.
He was friends with him as he
this up.
was. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't. He didn't seem like he was like, oh yeah, well this is my slow friend Forrest. You know what I mean? Like they were. He was just like, this is my friend.
Forrest wasn't
Which I
going
thought
to stop
was cool.
pulling people out of the jungle until he found Bubba.
Right. I've got to say, Bubba.
Yeah, I mean, dude, talking about
Something bit me.
acts of love, dude.
And then he goes and he buys the shrimp boat just for Bubba. And then he gives his mom half the money that he makes after he gets all big.
And then they made a franchise out of it, and I worked
He
there and made a
gave
bunch
Bubba's
of money
mama
for a long
Bubba's
time.
share.
And Bubba got
Bubba got his share, which is, I mean, that's what friends do.
Yeah, no, that's
I love
a
that
great
pick,
pick. That
Zach.
I don't know how I missed.
Nate, we're stalling for you. What do you got?
All right, I'm gonna go Seth and Evan from Superbad.
Fuck you. That was my next pick.
Oh man,
I was out of a lot of 20 at a list of 27. That was one of like 6 that was starred.
Do they stay friends? Do they like stay super close friends?
Oh yeah,
I think so.
I think so.
I don't think it's
they're still
guaranteed.
hanging.
those are the kind of things you go through with a best buddy. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
have different views on how the future's gonna go, and fucking it always. As long as you can come back
Yeah.
and find some common ground, dude.
As long as you
it'll
come back,
work
but the
out.
question is if Sarah comes back.
Yeah. I
That's
don't know.
that's what I'm wondering.
So I'm with Zach on this. Like, there's a lot of different dimensions to how these people are friends, and I like a lot of them. But I think I got to go with Annie and Lillian, Bridesmaids, as my third pick.
Do you have to? Okay.
So I mean, I guess I like that movie a lot, but I just don't feel like their relationship is like super central to like the way that I like that movie.
Yeah, but a lot of it's driven by the sort of like tension, right? So like
For sure.
it feels a lot to me like I think there are a lot of really close friends that are women that have those kinds of like difficult relationships at times and are still really tight.
Right.
Whereas like I think guys have difficulties in their friendships, but they're not the same a lot of times. I mean, I'm generalizing grossly, but I'm just saying in my experience, like the difficulties that they show in Bridesmaids reminded me a lot of what I've heard of relationships with my, with the women that I know well enough to have heard sort of the insides of their relationships. And so, I think they're not all like this, but it was a good like representation of how best friends can also have really some hard times, but not have that, sort of break them. So I think that's my rationale for the pick.
I like that.
Thank you.
There's a bitches be crazy joke in there somewhere, but I decided to go away from it.
All right, Zach, you are back up, man.
Okay. I'm gonna reach a little bit into my hat here.
Already in
go-
round 3. Okay, that's fine.
And I'm gonna go Mike and Worm from Rounders. Because I know that feeling of having that friend that's fucked up and you really are trying to help them and they end up fucking you over and it sucks. I just I think it's a really realistic, like, he's trying to do good by his buddy from when they were kids and they just have different ideas of where they're going in life. And it's
I want to talk about this like a little bit deeper, but I think we're going to do rounders at some point. So I say we
I
save it
love
for
it.
that. I
We
say
can talk about it and bash that pick, but
No, I don't think it's.
I think that's
well,
a great
because like I think we talked about a little bit about at the end of the movie they need to be friends, and the question is, do they ever become?
No,
No.
I don't think
Friends.
so. I don't think so. But I think that's part of what makes it awesome is that it like they were friends when they were younger and they were coming up, and he feels this obligation to this dude who's obviously fucking up, but he's like, this is my guy. Like, hey, this guy was there for me when we were kids. Like, I have to like be there for this dude, even though he knows that Worm is so fucked that Worm's gonna screw him over. You know what I mean? And it happens exactly how he's afraid of it happening. And gets him stomped out. He loses a bunch of money and whatever it is. But it's I think that's like a definite like that's a big part of friendship for a lot of people.
Does Will do this to Chucky later on?
No.
Will Hunting?
No.
Because Chucky's working he's more like a blue collar. He's working a blue collar job. Like Worm's just always
Worm's
looks
a piece
for
of
gain.
shit.
Yeah.
Worm's that kid that had a fucked up upbringing.
They both had a fucked up upbringing.
Right,
That's the
exactly, and that's part of the thing that they bonded about, right? And he knows that this dude needs his help. You know what I mean?
I love the logic there, but I have a slightly different take on what happens after the movie, which is I don't think Mike, 5 years later would be asked like about Worm and be like, I hate that dude.
No,
I'm not saying that.
He wouldn't want to talk shit because
I even think he would sort of like talk about him with a lot of affection. He just never would go on a limb for him again.
And he's
Maybe that
not.
makes him not
He's
best
also
friend.
may
That's
not,
exactly
he's not going
it.
to call him. Like he's going to hope that Worm gets his shit together, and he'll pray that like Chucky one day he comes, like Worm comes to his doorstep and says, "Hey,
yeah," because at some point
let's
you got to
have a beer.
prioritize your own shit, especially if
Exactly.
you're your own family or whatever
Right.
else you got going on. Like you can't deal with somebody else's crazy shit.
Right.
And Mike wasn't in that position yet, so he was still in the time where he just had, he had a lady. They weren't married. They didn't have a kid, and he was, he decided to freaking go trying to help his friend out, and it fucked up. He lost his nice blonde lady.
All right, Nick, you got some green labels left?
Serious here.
You got some green label
lighten it
left?
up.
Some serious rounders
Zach's
talk.
over here trying to triple stamp a double stamp, and you can't triple stamp a double stamp. I'm going Harry and Lloyd, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh God, Nick, they didn't even make my
Didn't
list,
even have them
dude.
on my list.
Holy shit!
And they're huge. Good luck
that's a great
winning
pick.
this draft without Harry and Lloyd on it.
That's a great fucking pick. I hope you feel like you're gonna win and then you lose in the end.
I do feel like it, and I will feel like that.
Ooh, wow. That's a beautiful pick that late. Ugh, I thought I might be able to steal that.
Did you have that on your list? I didn't even have that.
Oh, come on.
I didn't.
You
That
stick to,
doesn't like
if you stick to
movies
the internet,
as much.
if you stick to the internet, you're going to get fucked because you don't think of the good ones.
It's one of the movies that I've watched more than a lot of movies.
Go to your DVD collection. First thing I do is I go to my DVD collection, I look through and I check out all my movies and think, okay, what are ones that I need to think of?
What year is it?
Thanks
bro?
for
You have
bragging
DVDs?
about your prep, Brad. Why don't you just pick, okay?
I love that brag on that prep. I love that.
Hey, I'm Brad. I have physical DVDs.
I look at DVDs and I think outside the box.
All that prep did was give me the first one of the 2022 season.
I'm not a slave to the internet.
I like that prep talk.
All right, but now, man, this is just all sorts of bad because my heart is telling me which way to go. I don't know
And
which
your
way.
balls are telling you to go another way.
No, my heart's actually split. There's two ways I can go here, and I just don't know which one's the right way.
Your heart and balls are telling you to go another way.
Heart and balls are they're working together right now.
Oh,
They're just split. Left ball's going one way, right ball's going the other. Like the
Left side of the heart
left,
is
left
gotcha.
side's going one.
Left ventricle, right
Yeah,
ventricle.
exactly.
each ball's just swelling in time.
All right,
My plums.
I'm gonna go this way. And this is one maybe the judge. Shit, just dropped my phone. This is maybe one the judge doesn't like, but I don't care because it's the right choice. I'm going Frodo and
I was
Samwise.
just gonna say you're going
Brad,
Mount Doom, dude.
Brad just threw his fucking $1,000
Off of
iPhone
Mount
across
Doom.
the room into Mount Doom.
Oh, I thought you were saying he threw his
Sauron.
draft off of Mount Doom.
Oh shit! My draft. That's a throw off the draft.
No, I'm just saying that you threw
No,
your phone
you're
off the
fine.
table, dude. Don't worry about it. I'm sure you're going
You'll
to be
be
fine.
okay.
Now where do we go?
It is not animated or a puppet. I will absolutely object to the draft.
All right, I'm going to go with the. I think this is a nice little sneaky pick here. It's not the traditional best friends, but you cannot argue that these guys are best friends, even with the giant age gap.
Oh, God.
I'm taking Doc Brown and Marty McFly.
I think it's a bad pick. I thought hard about this one, but their friendship, they don't have a lot of affection for one another in the traditional friendship way.
What the fuck do you mean by that?
Disagree.
I'm saying I think they just kind of they use each other, you know?
I don't like the pick either.
They both risk their lives for each other constantly, to try to save each other.
Yeah.
I don't like the pick either, Nate, but I don't think that's the argument.
I'm just saying, I guess I don't see it. It's kind of more of a mentor-mentee situation. I don't know. I just don't like.
Who else is Marty? You think Marty's hanging out? He's hanging out with his girlfriend. He's hanging out with Doc Brown.
I don't think Marty's a loner. He doesn't have any friends.
So his
Why?
best friend is Doc Brown.
Yeah, but it's a bad. It's a weak best friend.
I said the age difference is weird, but they're still best friends.
Okay, you can say that.
They hang out all the time.
I think Doc Brown and Einstein are best friends. So
That's my next pick.
who does he send?
My next pick.
Who does he send back to the future first? Einie.
Because he didn't want to kill Marty. You want to make sure if I'm going to kill someone, I'm going to kill my dog. I'm not going to kill Marty because he's my best friend.
Make his best friend the first time traveler.
Guess what, Einstein?
It's a discussion.
He sent him to the Ice Age. I'm pretty sure he sent him to the Ice Age too.
All right, who's up?
Nick. Nick can win this draft right now with a good pick, and I'm not sure if he's got it in.
All Nick's got left is orange, and I'm pretty sure orange means shitty. It's like a baby.
It's like one of Scott's Rona poops right now.
It's like a runny Rona poop. That's the color that Nick has highlighted these last couple picks.
I have 3 yellow. I would just let you know available.
Oh, there's yellows on there.
But it takes.
Oh, there are yellows. I didn't see them.
Those are the cojones
It
picks?
takes big swelling plums.
All the greens are gone.
To pick in that orange when you got yellow available. I've done it before and I've won drafts around like that.
I've won drafts. I've done this before.
I've won multiple preseason drafts.
I have won drafts that didn't count for the actual tally of the
2022.
podcast.
Hey, fantasy football, you have those guys that are kind of the mediocres in the middle, and I got to go with this guy that I think is going to be that sleeper, that one that just wins this.
I'm gonna go with this guy that's
and it's a big.
And this is coming from somebody who shit the bed in pretty much all of my fantasy leagues this year.
Got second place in the league. I should have won.
I got second in one league, no playoffs in the others.
Amon St. Brown was my undoing.
That's the type of pick that Nick's going to take right now. If you picked Amon St. Brown in your draft, you were a genius.
No. He picked him up the week of the championship round and started him against me from the Lions.
Why was Amon St. Brown not on? Can I get in this league?
Because in our league, no one can pick up guys after the playoffs start unless you're in the playoffs, and no one.
No,
picked
I'm
him
saying
up.
why was Amon St. Brown?
He had his big week, the semifinals week. And then he scored 30 points in the championship week, and no one had him in the semifinals week in my league.
He should have been on somebody's roster, so I'm saying here's a shit league.
I'm ready.
We've killed enough time. All right, what do you got, Nick?
Big sleeper. So big that they made 3 movies about this 4-person friendship.
Chris Pratt and his Velociraptor.
That's Bradley Cooper.
You're going Wolfpack?
Galifianakis.
Oh, I thought about it.
Ed Helms and the other guy.
I love that his best friend, and there's the other guy.
This is exactly my
Give
problem.
me the wolf pack.
We need.
Galifianakis can't be counted in the friend group. Take Galifianakis.
He listed
Take
him.
Galifianakis out of the wolf
He
pack.
listed him.
We need
He's gotta
character
count him.
names.
He can't be in this group. He's not their friend.
Is it Peter, one of them?
Yes, he is. They ride or die, and they all save each other at some point during all 3 movies.
It's Doug.
For sure, they eventually save each other, but they're
It's
not best
Doug,
friends.
for
Yes,
sure.
they are.
It's Doug.
You don't need to know their real names. Just put Bradley Cooper.
No, I got to put character names. That's the way we do this.
Doug.
Seriously.
Okay, hold on.
Nate said Doug 4 times. Doug.
Black Doug.
We're trying to keep it. We're trying to keep this rolling here. And
Isn't one of them Peter?
no, there's
So
no
Zach out is Alan, Phil, Doug, and Stu.
Stu.
Wow, we got Doug out of all those. We didn't get any of those other names.
I just watched The Hangover 2 because I hadn't watched it in a while. So and yeah, I could not remember the names.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm the final pick. Is that where we're at?
Are we consensus that Hangover's overrated, or do we love that movie?
The Hangover is one of the highest grossing comedies of all time, but
I
you're
think
probably
it's
right.
The highest grossing R.
The Hangover 1 outside of Borat was the hardest I've laughed watching a movie.
Yeah.
I don't think you can touch Borat in the theater, though.
And The Hangover was one of those. It was like
Borat's its own.
we went on a
one
little
time.
couples thing, and we were like, "You guys want to go see a movie?" And it was again one of those just fortuitous. The weekend it came out, I was like, "That movie kind of looks okay. Let's go check it out." And with nobody had told us anything. It was opening weekend, and oh my lord,
The taser scene, I laugh as hard in that scene as
Rob
any
Riggle
comedy
was great.
scene.
Maybe I need to rewatch it.
It's so
I'm not
funny.
super.
two is weird. 2 is crazy. 2
Two's
is like
weird.
just
No.
I'm not saying
Off the wall.
2 or 3 are
Number
great.
one. Yeah.
All right, Zach. Nate was trying to do what he does to me. He was going to encroach
It's not
on
my
your
pick.
pick.
Okay.
But
it's
I'm
my
gonna
pick.
back you up.
Pretty sure it's my pick.
I can sense when Nate's trying to step over somebody.
Who just made a pick that was like super age gappy?
That was
would be
myself.
Brad taking
Okay.
me.
You doing
Doc
an age
and
gap?
Marty.
You gonna do
Yeah.
an age gap?
Because I'm going with a couple of best friends,
Okay.
Daniel-san and Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, not friends.
In Karate Kid.
Again, total mentor-mentee
That's fine.
situation.
Let him
the same,
go.
Lisa had the same thing. She said,
him
"Is that a
go.
mentor relationship?" And I said, "No, they're best friends."
That's cool.
That's fine.
Mine is way better as far as best friends.
Disagree.
I love the reach.
There's absolutely zero scenes where Doc and Marty are actually hanging out, and
they talk about it constantly.
So you're just talking
So I was
about
hanging out-
Miyagi's drunk scene that made them best friends.
they hang out constantly.
No, he doesn't hang out with them unless he's getting like training and he's like
not
working
true.
in his
That's
house.
not true.
The only time they hang
No.
out outside of that is when Miyagi's drunk, and then Daniel-san holds his hair back when he's throwing up over the toilet.
He puts his purple heart in his hair to hold his hair back.
No, he's got the
Does Mr.
headband. He uses his headband.
Mr. Miyagi never calls Daniel-san at like 1 a.m. and say, "I need you to come to the Twin Pines Mall right now."
He never texts him and
And
says, "You
he
up?"
jumps out of his bed and goes to the mall.
And his mom's like, "Where are you going?" And you're like, "I'm gonna go meet my 71-year-old friend at
My
3
best
o'clock in
friend.
the morning." No, that sounds
Actually,
normal.
it's like 1:15, but you know.
All right. Well, this is my final pick.
I
and
can't believe there was
I don't know if I'm
pushback on that.
I don't know if it's a reach here, but like it's not obvious it's the right one, but it's one I love and it feels right. I'm going Napoleon and Pedro.
Yeah,
from
that was on my
Napoleon
list.
Dynamite.
It was between Napoleon and
I
Hangover.
think that's terrible.
I just it feels like a really oddly like understated but touching friendship.
I mean, Napoleon's
I
great,
agree.
but Pedro's kind of a forgettable character to me.
And Napoleon's not much of a friend. Like they don't really.
yeah, Napoleon's
but
great.
He does the dance for Pedro.
Yeah.
Vote for Pedro.
That's
He
all
does
for
the dance.
Pedro.
Yeah, that's true.
Right,
That is
Pedro.
true. That is true.
The also-rans here are just crazy. Like,
Are we
there's-
getting into it now? Are we
No,
going
I
also
think I have
Let's go.
another
This draft
pick.
is over yet? No.
This draft is.
Zach's like,
wait a minute. I didn't get my last pick.
I've got like more on my list here.
You took 4 picks, my friend. Just like all.
Who wants to start on their also rans?
Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, and I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
Are they? I mean,
Yes.
are they going to remain best friends for the
Yeah.
rest of the
Yeah.
time?
He shows up at his wedding, dude.
That's
and
a
they
late.
kiss.
That's a late best friend.
Okay.
They're
and I love that movie.
so that's all you got.
Let's just go in a circle. We'll,
No, I got more.
We'll throw them out in a circle. Let's go in a circle. So
Not
Jay
many.
and Silent Bob did not get picked, and that's incredulous.
It's because they're shitty actors and their movies aren't that good.
They are best friends.
some of their movies are
hetero
great.
life mates. When you call
Some of their movies
they
are
went
great.
beyond. There's a space beyond best friends, which is hetero life mates, and that's
You have to live with yourself for not picking them. So
Yeah,
here
those
we go.
are those are
true.
guys
Yeah,
that are
so-
hetero life mates that also are not heterally married to women.
So
Nate.
I want to know. So this is a category where we really underconsumed and missed our opportunity to take what are legitimately great picks from the Pixar universe and Woody and Buzz.
Woody and Buzz.
oh yeah.
Or maybe the top of that, like
They're
that,
number 2 on my list behind Han and Chewie.
Woody and Buzz should have been picked. I didn't pick them because
and Dory and Marlon from.
I don't think
of them
they
as
needed
best
to be
friends.
picked. I mean, we only have 4 picks.
I don't think
There's-
of Dory and Marlon as best friends. Marlon puts up with Dory. He doesn't
All right.
appreciate her as a best friend.
Okay,
I've got
I got
some-
Wayne and Gar.
Oh, go ahead.
Wayne and Garth.
I almost picked Wayne and Garth. That
Yeah.
was another one I was thinking about for my last.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
a great pick. Actually,
They should have been picked. Zach,
Oh, I was just gonna say that I've got 3 groups of kids, and in descending order of terribleness. So we've got the kids in Sandlot,
Yeah, I have that one.
the kids in Stand by Me,
Yep.
and then you've got the kids in It. Because I mean, if you
Wait.
can't have an orgy with your only female friend in a sewer while you're being hunted by the demon of a ghost clown,
Yeah.
Alien.
I mean,
I have not seen it. No, but no.
You have not seen the
I don't think
original.
best-
It?
No, I don't watch that shit.
no. So in the so in the book, they actually have like they all have sex with the female with the young girl in the sewer while they're like
because they're like, we're going to
scared
die and
running.
we've never
Yeah.
had sex.
And they're crazy, dude. Yeah, and they're little
That
kids.
sounds
Damn.
crazy. Okay.
Okay, that's
How'd you miss the gang?
strange.
How'd you miss the kids from
Wait,
Goonies?
well, hold
in
on,
your
hold on,
list?
hold on,
I'm
hold
just
on,
saying.
hold
I'm just saying. How did he miss the? He was.
There's not any
Because that's a shit movie.
pair you could say that's really like best friends. I mean, you could take the group, but I don't know. If
That's
they're
a-
best friends.
If you wanted to pander to Scott, you would have picked that.
I missed out on for sure Harry, Ron, Hermione. That's a group that definitely could have
So
been.
this is another one.
best
Like
friends.
usually we stay away from the Harry Potter universe, but that's one that I felt really bad not picking. I think it's a great one.
All right, Nate, what you got? We'll
So-
go to a circle until we have
Go
no
ahead and
more.
list like a couple, 2 or
Well,
3.
I'll list a few. So I'm going to go to a sort of like theme here, which is there's also a lot for an industry that doesn't necessarily do a great job digging in to female roles historically. There's a lot of really good female friendships that actually, I think do a pretty good job. So Romy and Michelle, we picked Thelma and Louise, so that's good.
You've told me to watch Booksmart, and I never
Booksmart.
Amy
great.
and Molly from Booksmart is great. I thought about picking them. The Women in Steel Magnolias is great.
I had Cece and Hillary from Beaches.
Which is
that one I actually watched with my mom like back in the
one.
day, and I remember actually crying. Like I was like, oh, "This is terrible."
Really?
Oh, it's
super
so sad.
I've never seen it.
Abilene and Minnie from The Help, Janice and Katie from Mean Girls.
What about Silverstone and
Yes, I mean,
who is
I
it? Stacey
skipped over.
Dash.
Yeah, from
Oh yeah, Dion and Cher. From,
Dion and Cher from
Clueless.
that one
Clueless,
actually
for sure.
that one probably should.
That's on my list.
That one
High.
I almost took that one last too. So
Timon and Pumbaa, Disney missed out. You guys, Lion King, Lion King,
Timon and Pumbaa?
cool.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
No.
Pumbaa.
Supposed to be great. So I got a couple of randos. So Cheech and Chong,
Oh, that's a good one.
Ferris and Cameron.
Yeah, that's.
I thought about that one. My argument against that one was that Ferris is terrible to Cameron.
What about?
And then
Yeah.
Rod Tidwell and Jerry Maguire.
Oh,
I don't
that's
think best.
Are they best friends though?
They become best friends.
I mean, kind.
Well, that's one of those where you I like that.
I know.
But there's so I like that one a lot. But I stayed away from stuff that was like they had kind of professional relationship.
And I got another sleeper one. This is my last one because this was like a far the way hell out, and I think it could have lost me it or it could have won it. Tom Hanks and Wilson.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
That's a little abstract. For
that
me,
one
but-
though, that one's closer than a lot of our weird ones.
The majority of the dialogue in that movie is between him and Wilson.
That's true.
If Smokey would have stayed in next Friday and the Friday after next, I would have taken Smokey and Craig. But the fact that he didn't get to follow along for the next movies, I guess they broke up. They're no longer friends. That makes me sad.
The Breakfast Club.
I have the Breakfast Club.
But
They're
they all
not
meet
friends.
each other.
They're not
They meet
friends.
each other and they bond, but they're not best friends.
They sort of know
that
each
should
other.
not have been picked.
So there's a movie called Beautiful Girls, which some of you may or may not have seen, but it's like they come back for a reunion and the whole crew, and that's a good one to like pick 4 or 5 guys that are a crew that are clearly really close friends.
Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
Yeah. So I also stayed away from things where like
There was already an existing book or series and, all that.
like the friendship was much more codified and famous.
Bad Boys, dude. Will Ferrell and Will Smith and
Mike and Marcus.
Martin,
I have
dude.
that. Yeah.
I try to stay away from coworkers though. Like I feel like sometimes coworkers are bonded, but they're not necessarily best friends.
Well, the big one for me was Vincent and from Pulp Fiction. Vincent,
Jules.
Jules.
Vincent?
Like
Yes.
you can't pick them because they're not really friends, right? I mean, they're. Just
I think
kind
they
of-
go off and do their own things.
I
Vincent
think
went
so,
to
too.
Amsterdam for 3-4 years.
There's no way they hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wasn't with Jules. He
They
came
just
back.
happened to be assigned together on some sort of job. Or
But what about Brian and Mike from End to Watch, cop partners? They're really close.
they're best friends, dude.
They're best friends.
Ferris and Cameron. Is that too much of a dysfunctional relationship to be best friends?
No,
Well, Nick
because
said that.
They're best
Oh,
friends.
Nick,
It's just,
did you already say that?
He did say it, but it's just
About being
can't. It's just
dysfunctional.
Oh no,
No,
I'm sorry.
just-
You already
you
said
already
Ferris
said
and
that.
Cameron. My bad.
Ferris is shitty. That's the only problem with their relationship. Ferris just doesn't give a fuck about getting his friend in trouble.
Rocky and Apollo.
Nah, I don't think
Are they best friends? What about the movie we covered last week, right? John and Jeremy don't get drafted, which I thought they might have from Wedding Crashers. What about Mike and Trent? Another one from Swingers.
Yeah, I had Swingers.
Another Vince Vaughn, and I think they are best friends.
I think Mikey's more best friends with Ron Livingston's character. Like they actually like knew each other from like back east, and like I think they're more the better friends than.
Livingston is who gives them like the actual pep talk.
Yeah. He comes over with the salami, and they're playing golf together,
Yeah.
and Trent's not there. So I think Trent's like their crazy friend that they hang out with more.
We didn't grab Peter and Sydney from I Love You Man.
Somebody mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about the dude and Walter
Well, it'd be Walter and Donnie.
Lebowski?
Walter and Donnie would be the
were-
pick from
were the
that
better
for sure.
friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dude doesn't have any best friends.
Okay.
Rusty and we talked about Oceans. Rusty and Danny. I mean, you wouldn't pick the whole crew, but Rusty and Danny seem like they're pretty damn close. I mean, they have their conversations where they like finish each other's words and stuff.
Harold and Kumar.
And you guys remember from the garage tapes when we did summer school, Chainsaw and Dave, absolute
yeah.
best friends. I mean, those are. You passed and I failed. You asshole! I can fail.
So we talked earlier about Zach brought up on the thread. Could we go animals? And nobody thought about Turner and Hooch.
Milo and Otis, bro.
Milo and Otis, 2 animals. That's a classic.
They're best friends.
Kirk and Spock from the old days.
That's too old.
Butch and Sundance.
I've never seen it. My wife suggested that too. I was like, I haven't even seen that.
And showing our weakness in a couple of areas, Marvel, Bucky Barnes and Steve Rogers, Captain America and Bucky are best friends growing up, and then they become enemies, and they become best friends again.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know. Marvel shit. And then the other big hole in our game is the Fast and Furious with Dom and
I thought about that, but I
Dom and Brian.
Is that a hole in our
I've made
game?
my bed. I made my bed with the Dom pick before.
Nate knows what happens when you bring Vin Diesel into these drafts.
Don't bring Vin Diesel to these parties.
Trey and Ricky from Boys in the Hood.
Oh, I had that too. Oh wait, no, I had Trey and Doughboy.
Yeah, it's Trey and Doughboy.
Yeah.
Well, no, isn't Trey? Aren't Trey and Doughboy brothers?
No,
Or
Ricky and Doughboy are brothers.
Yeah.
Trey and Doughboy are friends.
Yeah.
Okay, but Trey and Ricky are friends too.
They are, but at the end,
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
they're the last two standing.
I mean, they're
and
hanging.
Trey-
They're hanging out. They're going to
only
the store
'cause the other
together.
guy
When
died.
they're going to the store together
You're
when Ricky
right.
gets killed. But
You're right.
But yeah, Trey and Doughboy I think are closer. They're the ones who are like hanging with each other.
All right. I love The Girl Next Door and the famous tripod of the three friends.
Oh, that's a good call.
I love that. I love that group of best friends. That's probably the one that is the closest to my own personal favorite that I left off because it's just always seen as a little too obscure.
What's the one with the plastics? Mean Girls. She has like her like alterna friend who like is always telling her like these bitches are.
That's
plastic.
one that was on a lot of lists. Is the girl and the gay best friend. Her friend that she makes a friend, and then they have the guy who's the gay best friend, and they have some great banter in that movie in Mean Girls for sure.
Oh, you could have in Dazed and Confused the football. Like, is there a best friend in there? No, is there a best friend in there?
Not really.
They're
There
more
is
like a
there
crew. Like it's kind of a clique if anything.
The cool
It's
thing
a
about
clique.
Dazed and Confused
It's
is
a
that a lot of the main characters aren't in the same clique, and
Right.
they're all kind of intermingling together.
Yeah, now I'm just spitballing, but
Harry and Sally,
I had a really good one that I can't remember now. It was fucking great. I was gonna blow your guys' mind.
Django and Dr. Scholl's. I like that one.
Oh yeah,
I was
that's a good
trying to
one.
think of Pulp Fiction. I mean, of Tarantino movies.
Not a lot of deep friendships there.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Leo,
Oh, yeah.
Leo and Brad.
yeah, maybe we missed on that.
That's good. I like
That's a
that.
big one.
I like
Again,
that a lot.
a working relationship, but it seems like it's become best friends.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot
That's
of.
a-
we
that's a
probably could have
good-
gone a 6 or 7 round draft.
I mean, do you
could have
count
gone
like
5.
do you count like Murtaugh and Riggs or whatever you know what I mean? Like how far do you go with it?
Well, I mean, you can take them, but at the end of the day,
McLean and Carl Winslow. I mean, where are we going?
it's all
Scroll
Scotch.
slow.
You throw Joe Pesci in the mix.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Marv and fucking Harry.
That's not a
and,
bad pick. They're-
Marv
yeah.
and Harry from Home Alone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a solid.
They're cellmates, not best friends.
Hey,
They,
I
they
mean,
stay together though.
Yeah.
They're for the long haul. All right.
All right.
Is it time for us to go and dig?
we just
Scott
did
out of the
40
deep
minutes of
quarantine?
also rants.
Yeah. Let's get Scotch Beck out of the
ET
The
facility.
yellow tape.
the ET.
I think they're drawing chalk, around his.
Yeah.
He's in the hazmat area of the hospital, right?
There's a bunch of ladies standing outside yelling, "Scott, are you okay?"
This
Yes, he's got a lot of groupies like hanging out. They're just waiting
Yeah.
for him.
All right.
All
You
right.
done?
Yeah, we are done.
California has the largest population in the United States and the site of some of the most famous true crime cases in history. But there's more than meets the eye to the crime in California. Join Sean, Jessica, and Charles on the California True Crime Podcast as they cover crime both infamous and overlooked from around our state, while looking at the deeper history that goes beyond beaches and movie stars.
All right, it's time to judge this damn draft, and we want nobody other than our one of our best friends, one of our besties, our regular judge, guest judge, celebrity, musician, man of all talents, the creator of the best commercial on Bev's Video Kingdom.
Definitely currently holding that
Mr.
award.
Scotch Beck holding that belt right now. Scotch, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there, man. Thanks for having me back.
Sound like you're feeling all right. Feeling better, coming out of it on the mend.
Yeah. I'm definitely. Today was the best day yet. I'm doing pretty good. My voice is a little sexier, which is kind of nice. I don't know if that's translating through the Zoom. Yeah,
I'm 6 to midnight. I don't know. Scott got
yeah. There you go.
So let's just get straight to this though. You caught a bad case of the Rona. Probably from fraternizing with said groupies, the ones that are banging on the outside of your quarantine,
holding the vigils.
Yeah, they've got those candles lit outside.
I mean, what do you expect? I mean, this is the latest in a long line of infections that you've gotten from that set of people.
When you live a lifestyle as loose and free as I do, you're going to catch some things, and unfortunately, this one I couldn't dodge. And
at least you can get a vaccine. Did you get vaccinated? Are you? This is a breakthrough infection.
This is a breakthrough. I'm vaxxed and boosted.
Oh no! Shit.
Wow,
dude. Hey, Scott. I got the Rona straight up vaxxed as you can be, and they were like, "Here you go, have some Rona." Yeah. And then here's some for your whole family.
It's too bad.
Nicky B got
same here too.
Yeah, Nick got the Rona.
And Rona.
Too bad.
Wow.
I guess Scott, it's too bad that you can't get a vaccination for syphilis, huh? But anyway, so we'll move on.
Is that
Nate's reading from a paper right now.
Hey, Scotch, do you at least do you peek out to the groupies like every once in a while, give them a little wave, and they all scream, and then you go back to your being Scotch Beck?
Well, yeah, and I got my live stream going at all time for them. They're on their phones out there. So
that makes sense.
Give them a little show, and I don't want to leave them without anything. So.
That's true.
But you're mentioning syphilis. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to penicillin.
You're screwed.
I got to be careful, man.
You got to be real careful. Stay away from that syphilis.
It's that long road. It's that long road back to health.
Don't want the sif. All right. Well, we're glad you're well enough to join us remote during your quarantine, and you have judged us, as I understand it.
Hey, Scotch. There's one important thing that you may not know, because it's coming out tomorrow. There is a current leader in the draft championship. That would be myself. I've got one win so far. One win.
Out of the one
Spoiler
pod.
Alert,
one win
again.
out of the one pod.
I'm sorry, Scotch. I know I'm ruining it for you, but we were going to talk about it at some point. These guys have zero
wins. You always
wins.
forget. I am a fan. I'm not just a friend and judge.
I'm a fan first.
And I was going to be listening.
Scott's
I was
angry.
excited to listen to the draft, and God damn it,
I can't help but spoil it, because I'm going to be talking shit the whole time. Especially when I get my second victory, I'm going to shout, "Oh my God, 2 in a row." There we go. So,
shout.
Wow.
Shout.
Jump up and shout it now.
Little bit louder now.
I might kick somebody in the face. I don't even care. I might get wild in here.
Scott hasn't heard this story. Yeah. He'll save it for the pod. No spoilers.
During the quiet part, Nick does that thing that ninjas do where they flip up from their back and all of a sudden they're standing. And sometimes you just get a girl in the face.
It's collateral damage sometimes. Oh, God.
Boy.
Well,
Speaking of shout, you guys just mentioned shout, and just
the
a little
greatest
sidebar
wedding
real
song
quick.
ever.
Exactly, and being in a band that's played that song 100 billion times, and I'll tell you what, it's fun every time.
Exactly.
And there's, obviously, we've had our success, we've had our own songs, people going crazy over our own stuff, which is amazing, but having a room completely full of people just throwing their arms up in the air and then doing the whole thing where they get down on the ground and like that whole thing, it's fun, man. And it's always a hit.
Amen, brother. Get down when it says quieter. A little softer now. That means you get down.
By the way,
right.
So what is it? So is flying the band you're referencing is of course Flying Blind, You guys were supposed to
Right.
just do a show, and you had to cancel because you all got the Rona.
I thought you were going to say you all got syphilis. I thought you were going to come back to syphilis.
Well,
Syphilis in the Rona.
They've always got like crabs or gonorrhea.
There's no HIPAA rights in here right now.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a fucking bummer, man. We were supposed to play on New Year's Eve, and
fucking
what
sucks.
the shittiest part about it was, so we
They'd
knew
already
one of
cashed
us was
the
sick.
check.
I'm not going to name any names, but one of us was sick earlier in the week. We had rehearsal, but he wasn't that sick, and then so we thought everything was fine, and the band gets there, our stage is set up, our sound system set up, I set my drums up, we had already got all our instruments sound checked, and we get a text. It tested positive. So we literally had to cancel the gig. We were already set up, and we had to tell him, hey, man, sorry, we can't do it. And sure enough, and at that point, the rest of us didn't know we had it. And I think 4 out of 6 of us ended up with it.
Damn.
God dang.
Well, Scott and the rest of the guys are on quarantine. At least you can download all their songs. At Flying Blind, download all the albums. You can download at scotchbeck.com. You can download all of Scott's solo stuff. So,
And by download, he doesn't mean free download. He means like go pay for some shit and buy it.
Yeah, like that, or just figure out a way to hack it. I don't know how it works.
Scott, one more
easier to pay for it.
one more very quick question. What's the number one wedding song? Because you guys play a bunch of weddings and events like that. Like, what's the number one song at like an event with a bunch of people dancing?
Oh, man. That is a good one. Go ahead. Somebody was
I
going
was
to
gonna say, what's the song that like every wedding
Brings the house down.
you've played the most at like every wedding? It's like just going to be played no matter what.
Well, there's certain songs that we call home runs, and those are the songs that that like say maybe there's a lull, maybe the dance floor clears a little bit, and you lose a few people. There's these certain songs that will get them back and get them there every fucking time it's out of the park, gets back on the floor. Number one is Sweet Home Alabama, which it's so tired of playing, but it works every time, especially around this area for sure.
Yeah.
And one that we don't play just because we're just so done with it. And also it's kind of hard to sing for Matt is Old Time Rock and Roll. That's an all timer. Like if you want to get people on the floor, Bob Seger, once that piano starts, people are fucking going. So,
Hey, Scotch, I'm going to ask you a question. I want to see if you answer it correctly. What is the song that you've played where people are just about fucking on the dance floor? Just about fucking on the dance floor. That you guys have played before. You don't play it very often, and you haven't played it in a long while.
It's been a long time. That's Closer by 9 Inch Nails.
You guys don't even understand. They have one of the best covers of Closer by 9 Inch Nails that you've ever heard. And the fact that it's not available like as a single live or something is a shame because it's amazing. No keyboards. This is pre-keyboards. It was just guitar, drum, bass, and Matt on the vocals. And oh my God, I think the most specific one is Manteca at the brewery there. And you guys played it one night, and just people were just bouncing together, and it was like basically just an orgy on the dance floor.
Jesus,
to Closer.
Sounds like
the room turns into sex.
Yeah, it's incredible. What that song can do to people in the right mood.
I love that.
The brilliant part about it was your brother Brad Andrew he was playing the bass at the time, and he would hook up. If anybody plays guitar, if you've ever heard of a distortion pedal called the Metal Zone. It's like one of the most amazing distortion pedals you can buy, and he hooked that up to his bass. And so when that chorus kicks in, he throws on this distortion that just takes over the whole room, and the place just goes crazy. God damn,
man. I would say that's some of my favorite memories of Lifeline Blind is when Closer would come on, and it was just off the wall how people would go.
You bring me closer to God. That's all right.
Yeah. I want to fuck you like an animal. And I want to fuck you like, and just, oh man, it was nuts. It was great. That's my favorite.
All right,
Scott, tell me I'm the winner.
So you picked a winner. Let us know your criteria. We want to hear it all. We want to hear your Scotchlers list. We want to hear like, what do you got new? Like,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the biggest thing right off the top, what I want to say is, when I judge these, you always hear it in certain sports, like the judge's interpretation of like a rule or something like that. So when I saw this category right off the top, you guys said it's best movie Friends, correct?
Yeah.
So it's not memorable. It's best. So when I'm thinking, so overall, what I'm
BFFs.
thinking is, when I look at your picks, do I see them as friends? Is it a true friendship? Is there something there that just, are they there for each other? And do I really get a sense of friendship? So that was kind of like my overall, when I look at the Scotch Beck, oh yeah factor, that's kind of the whole thing. So of course, gut reaction, all that stuff. And then I got, the oh shit factor was like, oh shit, I should have thought of that, which there's a couple on here I can't believe I didn't pick. And something else I'll say right off the top, because I didn't do a YouTube assist. I did one wiki assist because I figured you can't really look at a YouTube clip of a friendship from a movie if you haven't seen it. But there was only one film on this entire draft that I hadn't seen. And so I used the wiki assist on that, kind of read a synopsis of the story, and that kind of gave me an idea of what it was. I'd also heard, it was a movie that I definitely knew, and I had a feeling it would be on this list, so I was familiar with it, so that helped.
It was Thelma, it was Thelma and Louise. You can tell us it was Thelma and Louise.
No, it was not.
Oh, really?
I did see that.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. I saw that at JC in film class.
Yeah, he saw it at JC in film class. He knows Thelma and Louise.
30 years ago.
He watches it again every
something
year.
else I looked at, a category I like to call jumping on the hand grenade, which, if you're a buddy with somebody, there's going to be a time in your life, where you got to jump on that hand grenade,
Thank you, Scott.
You're at the bar, you see a couple ladies, one of them you want, the other one you don't.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
jumps on the hand grenade.
That's not where I thought you were going with that, but I like that a lot.
Well, that's what I thought of. That's what I thought of. But it also means a literal hand grenade. Was there a sacrifice made? Is there something that really, So that was something I looked at as well. So bonus points for that. Something else I did was I love you, man or woman, and like a real, like, was there a weird sexual tension at any point with them? And so I gave a little bonus point for that. Just a fun little bonus point. So that got a little one. Yep. Something else I thought of was, you son of a bitch. Negative points. I brought in some negative points. Did that friend fuck over the other friend at some point?
I love it so much.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's just like we're talking about friends here. We're talking about best friends.
So you created that criteria specifically for the person that drafted that best friend duo.
Up, Nick. Shut your mouth.
For this. Okay, gotcha.
Shut your syphilis-ridden mouth.
There were a few teams that got a few negative points because of that criteria, and I'll kind of explain those as I go through.
Yeah, it's your team, Nick. Your team sucks. That's what Scott told me. He's
so
like,
yeah, then
Nick's
Scott's
team
was list.
sucks. Sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
So I had my list, and I gave a certain amount of points for. I made a pretty long list and gave a few points for each ones I picked. So that being said, looking at the totals,
Let's go through that first round.
You want to go through round by round, or just give it the team by team? We've been doing team by team.
Let's go last place to
places.
first place. I like that.
All right.
I'm right. My body's ready.
Okay. All right. Last place. Team 1.
No. Yeah. Fucking
That's 100%.
Team 1 consisted of Will and Chucky from Good Will Hunting, Seth and Evan Superbad, Annie and Lillian Bridesmaids, Napoleon and Pedro Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay. Now, I will say that
goddamn bullshit. He's
the
obviously got COVID
okay.
brain. How did we invite this guy? He's actively in the middle of COVID.
It's like, what the fuck happened?
We can't trust any of what he's saying.
Don't you COVID shame. Don't you COVID shame. We don't allow COVID shaming on this podcast.
This all happened when Nate had the shits. The downhill spiral happened when Nate took the shits and missed the pod. Everyone.
God,
that is true. That was the beginning of the end for him.
Yeah.
I got dysentery and all of a
it
sudden
was super close. It was super close. The final scores were 48, 52, 53, 55.
Oh,
So
damn.
it was This is the tightest across the board it's ever been.
But Nate was
tough.
But Nate was the furthest from first place.
Nate wasn't in the 50s, right?
So a couple things that hurt her to score was, obviously Bridesmaids was the movie I hadn't seen, and
you got to see that.
I read about.
Movie.
I know. I started watching at one point and I couldn't get into it for some reason, and I never went back. And I know I need to, because I hear you guys talk about it all the time, and I heard it's great. But just reading over the synopsis, it kind of sounds like they were friends at the beginning, but then it just kind of got screwed up. And I don't know. It didn't kill you, but it just didn't get you the points that some of the other picks got on the other teams. Napoleon Pedro, I love that one. Talk about a hand grenade. Napoleon jumps on the hand grenade, does the dance in front of everybody. That's the hand grenade I called for that one. That got bonus points for that. But Pedro kind of fucked over Napoleon at one point and went out with his girl, so took off a little point for that.
Oh, that's right. That sneaky fuck.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of
forgot about that.
Pedro's got to do what he's got to do.
Trying to get his.
I love the Seth and Evan pick. A little sexual tension and with a boop of the snoot. And honestly, the thing that I didn't like was Will and Chucky in that first pick.
Really?
It's good, but there's two picks in particular in round 2 that are, to me, way better.
I was jealous. I was jealous of that pick.
I admit that it was tough to decide where to go 101.
Right.
And I kind of followed my own personal, I just love that movie. And I love those characters. But I that was the one spot where maybe I was really like, I probably could have gone someplace more popular.
I think we all said it was a consensus first round pick, though. First round pick for sure.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it in the first round at all. Yeah, I mean, I love that movie too. Just something about it. I don't know.
Well, that's cool.
Didn't grab me.
All right. Well, you're wrong, but I'll accept it. I accept your judgment.
Well, that pick didn't kill you. It just didn't do as well as some of the other ones.
All right, we need more broken hearts here, Scott. So who are we going next?
All right. I mean, it's tight. So with 52 points, 1 point away from second place, Team 3.
That's bullshit.
Team 3 consisted of Thelma and Louise from Thelma and Louise, Red and Andy from Shawshank Redemption,
fuck did that
Lloyd,
lose?
Dumb and Dumber, Doug, Alan, Phil, and Stu from The Hangman.
How did that lose to Mike and Worm and fucking Miyagi, dude? They're not friends.
Get out of my...
And Worm they're not even best friends.
You don't even know what you're saying. You don't even know what you're saying right now. Stop saying words.
I'm clear.
Let Scott Beck pick his picks. The man knows what he's talking about.
Okay.
Sorry, Scott.
Red and Andy was
an
absolute amazing pick. I can't believe I didn't think of Red and Andy. Shawshank is one of my favorite movies ever, and that pick was unbelievable. Thelma and Louise is great. I mean, talk about a hand grenade. She shot the dude for her friend after she got. It's been a long time since I saw that movie. Because Susan Sarandon shot the guy that was raping the other girls.
Yeah.
Right. Attempted rape. Okay. So yeah, I mean, the ultimate sacrifice. So those are two great picks right off the bat. Harry and Lloyd, also one I thought of. That was awesome. There was a negative point for you son of a bitch. Fucking him over a little bit. So that is the one little thing that kind of knocked you down a little bit.
That is what
me. Dang,
and
dude.
I love the movie The Hangover, but as far as friends,
thank you, Scott Beck.
I don't see the Wolfpack as friends.
Thank you.
Like true friends. And then, of course, talk about a fuck over was the whole movie is based on him putting in ecstasy and fucking him over. So
Roofies.
That's how you lost to Daniel-san and Miyagi.
Thank you.
And
You're right.
Doc
You're
Brown
right.
Morty.
You're right. The
Marty.
The sensei and student relationship.
Yeah, you're right. We're gonna hang out with an old fucking...
The teacher and student relationship.
Oh, this is my 75-year-old physics professor.
Hey, let's find out who won.
Yeah. Shut up, Brad.
Okay.
Let's find out who won.
So,
quit trying to tell Scott
there might be there might be a 2-time winner in 2022.
Oh my god.
2 is the key word.
2 points separate.
I'm gonna throw up.
2 points separate them. Second place. Team 2.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Here we go.
We're never going to hear that.
Team 2 consists of Han and Chewie from Star Wars, Forrest Gump and Bubba from Forrest Gump, Mike and Worm from Rounders, and Daniel San and Mr. Miyagi from The Karate Kid.
Okay, as long as that piece of shit didn't win. I'm fine.
That team is a real pile.
Scotch, you were gonna get spoiled anyway because now I'm a 2-time champ in 2022 in the real inaugural season.
Fuck you.
Brad's got a 2-draft lead.
Oh, jumping out quick
That's
in
so
2022.
terrible.
Brad, that's a great draft.
Brad,
that
can
had.
you tell us what your shit ass team is?
My shit ass team is Team 4. It had Goose and Maverick from Top Gun.
Gross, pandering, fucking bullshit. Pick to Scott. Okay,
Bill
go
and
to the next
Ted.
one.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, that's a fucking Oscar winner.
That's a
All
Brad
right, what do we
pick.
got
That's
next?
a Brad
Frodo
pick.
and Samwise, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they want to fuck each other. They're not best friends. What's your next pick?
Doc Brown and Marty McFly.
Yeah, the
Back to
dude's
Future.
79
Definitely
years
not
old and
friends.
he's 16. There's nothing problematic about your list at all.
I think that's a winning list if I've ever
It's
heard.
okay because Miyagi's 68 and Daniel San's 14 or what? that makes it okay?
No, it's because
That makes it okay?
it's because he's an
Stop
older
it.
Asian veteran
Stop
that fought
it.
for dude, bro. You're talking about a Purple Heart recipient, dude.
Let's hear our judge kind of break it down. He's the one who made the decisions. Let's hear what he has to say.
Okay, here we go.
Fucking third place over
Han-
here having
Han-
all sorts of opinions. In third place, you don't get any fucking opinions,
I got
bro.
plenty.
When you're in
I
third
get
place-
one.
when
Fourth
you're
place
in
doesn't
third
get no.
place, you
Fourth
don't get
doesn't
to have fucking
Fourth
opinions.
doesn't get the opinions. I get one opinion. Fourth gets grenadine and 0 opinions. I get no grenadine and 1 opinion.
I'm sorry, Scott.
yeah.
It's Christmas time.
We're out
Sorry.
of control.
I'm sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
Okay, so Team 2, Forrest and Bubba. Forrest and Bubba was an amazing pick.
Thank
that
you.
I can't believe
Thank
I
you,
didn't
Scott.
think of.
What about Han and Chewie?
That
Come
was
on, Han and Chewie.
awesome.
Han and Chewie.
Han and Chewie was great. It was. I mean, for some reason, it didn't grab me like some of the other ones did because I mean,
It was.
I don't know.
That explains the second place
Han,
finish.
Seems like Han drags Chewie through a lot of shit.
And Chewie's just kind of
puts
like
him
a
in lot of
pet.
situations.
Chewie's ride or die.
He is not a pet.
Chewie's ride or die. Chewie gets a lot. He flies
You
the Millennium
can't
Falcon on his
call
own.
no. This is how you know he's not a pet. You can't call something a pet that could rape you at any moment. Like at any time, Chewie could fuck
Tear your
Han.
arms off.
Yeah.
That's a crazy definition of how you don't know something's not a pet.
And so, like anybody that has
Okay.
a fucking that has like you're like, oh, this is my pet, fucking silverback gorilla. It's like, no, it's not. Like you're its pet. It could fuck you
but
at
the
any moment.
But that's my point. The first thing I think is like, wait, is it possible that animal could rape me? Yep, because it's not a
Hey,
pet.
that's exactly how you tell if something's your pet or not.
Okay.
All right, let's just get down to it. Then. Mike
That's my
and Worm.
best friend.
Mike and Worm fucked Zach, correct? Mike and Worm fucked Zach.
That's correct.
We're trying to talk about
Because,
realistic friendship.
Obviously, I mean, you got 3 negative points for Worm just being a piece of shit that took his money.
He's
Left
terrible.
him. Yeah, he's awful. Yeah, I liked the pick as far as I didn't think of it, so I was actually, oh shit, I should have thought of that. But at the end of the day,
You shouldn't have
yeah.
thought of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like Daniel and Miyagi pick.
Thank you.
Unlike some of you guys, I think it was a great pick. And there's even one point in the movie when I think Daniel turns to him and he's in the car and says, like, doesn't he call him like his best friend or something like that?
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. After he gives him a $70,000 car, he's like, you know what? You're my best friend.
Turns to the 68-year-old.
Thank you for giving me a $100,000 car.
So we had our 2 old versus young guy relationships here. Which one's the better one between Doc Brown, Marty McFly, or Daniel San?
Miyagi's better.
Which one's the actual best friends?
I think Daniel and Miyagi are better friends.
As much as I disagree with that, I still appreciate you, Scotch Beck.
Scott, Doc
Brown
Brown
will accept it.
He's looking for somebody to like be in his experiments, right? He's not looking for a best friend.
No, they were
He's
hanging
just
out
like,
way before the time machine was invented.
What were they doing, Brad?
He played the guitar at his house. They talked about science shit.
He had him come by to feed his dog and like check his stuff out.
Exactly.
Yeah, he
He's
loved
the neighbor
Einstein,
kid.
too.
He's the neighbor kid that like comes around and is like, oh, hey, what are you doing, weird old guy? And he's like, oh, check it out. I'm
If
building
weird
a
old guy
fucking
tells you to
can
come to the
crusher."
mall at 1 a.m, you don't go if you think he's creepy old guy.
No. I'm not
No
saying
one
he
says
is creepy old guy. I'm
He's
just
just not his
saying that
best
he's
friend.
just weird old guy that lives next door.
Then why does Marty go?
If they were
to
best
the mall?
friends, Marty would have been with him at the mall already.
No. Doc had to keep it kind of secret.
From his best friend?
He was dealing with Libyans and fucking nuclear
You
shit.
keeping secrets from me? No.
I don't have any nuclear shit or problems with Libyans.
All right. So tell us about the winning list that is a terrible choice.
You can't win, Scott. You can't win.
Goose and Maverick won it for him.
I know.
Goose and Mav.
Goose and Maverick it actually didn't because of a major you son of a bitch negative 3 points for killing his
Goose,
friend.
yeah. Goose kind of gets killed by Maverick.
Fair point.
And Maverick was fucking him over, doing flybys, and like he was a horrible friend.
Endangering his job often.
Repeatedly.
We were inverted.
But you could tell they loved each other, and there's some super, sexy moments on the volleyball pitch, And,
There was tension between Tom Cruise and Meg Ryan. I'm just going to throw it out there. So
Oh, that's
I
actually
don't know
not a
about
bad
that.
After death? The after death?
No, she was
before.
She was all in on Goose. She didn't have anything for Mav. No,
Hard disagree. I'm with Nick on this.
no.
I'm with Nick.
tainted.
Take me to bed or lose me
tainted.
forever.
Bill and Ted.
So wait, when she says take me to bed or lose me forever, she's thinking like, I'm gonna go fuck Mav if you don't grab me right now.
She's telling Goose, thinking of Mav.
Because Goose doesn't take care of her needs often enough.
100% with Nick on this.
She's like, did you see that guy over there, that 5'6" guy in the leather jacket leaning against the crotch rocket? I'm going to go fuck him.
He flies the plane, Goose. He flies the plane. What
You
do you
just
do?
sit in the back and die.
What are you-
That's all
you're
you
a-
do, you fuck curly-headed buck.
You're a navigator. What does a navigator do? All right.
Fucking canopy.
What else you got?
Okay, Bill and Ted, probably the weakest movie or series
Thank
of
you,
movies of-
thank you.
of all these.
Yet still
what?
the winning
But those-
pick.
But those dudes are friends. and you can tell they're
BFFs.
buddies.
Are
and
you?
BFFs? And they save the world with their music. And
There you go.
I don't know how you can argue with that. So it was the lowest
Kinda
scoring
dumb,
of that
though.
round. I will explain that. Well, I mean, it was in the same round as Forrest and Bubba, Red and Andy, and Seth and Evan. So
Yeah, that was a tough round there.
yeah, that was.
Yeah, especially when
So
you made the worst
Frodo
pick.
Frodo and Sam was a steal in the third round. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Talk
No
about
doubt.
just friends to the end. They absolutely cared for each other, and
Well, there was definitely,
I love that.
I mean,
They had
Sam
that sexual
really loved
tension
Frodo.
factor. That got some bonus points for sexual tension for sure.
I was going to say, are we talking like
It
best
did.
friends or are we
It
talking couples?
Yeah, or like some sort of like dom sub relationship that they had going on. He was like, touch my foot, touch my fucking foot.
nobody,
Tickle
Nobody
the
picked
top of
anybody
my
that-
foot hair.
nobody picked any actual people that hooked up. Like you could have picked a movie that actually had friends with benefits or something. That could have got some major bonus points,
Harry
but,
and Sally were in the also ran, so I thought about that one.
What about your?
We don't
movie-
know about-
What about your
Great.
movie where they become best friends after they hook up, and then are they like best friends throughout their lives?
Drinking buddies?
Sleeping with other people.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That'd be a good best friend duo that also
Yeah,
fucks.
that
Not
would
as
be a good
memorable
one.
compared to these. But
Yeah.
you should have picked it because you probably would have gotten fourth still.
Yeah.
You really didn't pick for yourself and got fourth.
If I'd known I was going to get fourth, I would have picked a totally different list.
I like how Nate immediately goes, Scott's mind is clouded by COVID. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Hey, Scotch, there was discussions initially though about like we're nervous about when you're with us. It's like you've been with us so much that we're worried about like exposing ourselves. Like how sure
like
were you?
literally pulling our
How
dicks
sure
out.
were you of each of the teams?
Okay, I absolutely knew Nate's.
Oh, wow.
I was actually I was pretty sure on yours as well,
Okay.
and I couldn't decide between the two middle teams. I actually I thought team 3 was Zach.
Yeah. He thought that
Yeah,
mine
based
was the
on-
Forrest Gump pick. He thought that I picked Forrest
Yeah.
and
No,
Bubba.
yeah. He
And
thought
Han
that
and
I had
Chewie.
done better than I did.
Yeah, but yeah, I pretty much knew, and it doesn't matter. I don't choose based on that. If I choose on who I like, then I would pick Oh, you thought I was going to say it.
Hey, well, I will say this: that you notice there's no Disney Pixar movies on my list.
I did.
And it hurt my heart.
And he still knew.
It hurt my heart.
And you
really
still
bad.
had to pick Frodo. He knew it was you because you picked Frodo.
Can I point out that any allegation that I am the most pandering drafter at this point is no longer valid. It's Brad.
I learned it from you, Nate.
Hey,
I learned it from you.
Being the shittiest and being the most pandering are not mutually exclusive. I mean,
I would love it if they were in the same now. I mean,
I know
fine.
how to
my
get
point.
dubs. Hey, this is the regular season now. It's time to get dubs.
Shut up.
Preseason, you can get all the wins you want. It doesn't matter. With regular season,
The
it
stupidest
matters.
thing I've ever heard in my life.
we're talking about regular season. We're talking about regular
We're
season.
not even talking about the playoffs. We're talking about the regular
I
season.
earned that,
Playoffs?
I earned every square inch of that belt, and I'm taking it.
All right. So what was your last round pick, Brad?
Oh, it was Doc Brown and Marty McFly.
Oh, we already
Brown
went
and
through
Marty.
it.
We already talked about how shitty of a pick that was. But
we just
you know
compared
what?
to Danielson and Mr. Miyagi, but there's still
You know what?
good friendship.
Scott made a really good effort tonight. I want to give him a really big round of applause. I mean, he got most of it right, except for the top of the draft could have been a little bit different. But
Scott, you're also Rans.
who's your also
What do
Rans?
you got, man?
So, yeah, I don't know how many of these you guys already talked about. One I was actually surprised that Brad didn't pick was the Harry Potter kids.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
Yeah,
I
was actually
thought hard
shocked
about that one
You
too.
didn't pick those. So, some other ones that like you guys picked a lot of what I thought of. Murtaugh and Riggs, Lethal Weapon series.
we brought that up.
We talked a lot about
Yeah.
coworkers as like, does that consist of best friends when you're coworkers? But I mean,
Yeah,
I
and-
don't know.
So that was something that I had a feeling you guys would be like kind of on the fence about. But to me, and when I looked at this, I thought of, you said best friends from movies. You didn't say from a movie. So I thought I put trilogies together. So I thought of Murtaugh and Riggs. They develop a friendship over this whole series. Han and Chewie develop a friendship over.
Right.
What about
Okay.
that?
That's what we were thinking about. We
Yeah.
like Han and
Yeah.
Chewie would be like the Star Wars universe. Like, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And so that's why I think Murtaugh and Riggs works, because I mean, he's family, and
Yeah,
so
that's
they're
true.
Not just partners. So anyway, something I thought it was the Sandlot kids.
Yeah, we talked about
Brought
that.
those up.
Yep.
Would Woody and Buzz
Harold and
would
Kumar.
they have moved you at all? Woody and Buzz, Toy Story.
I would have given them consideration. I'm not a big Toy Story
Considerably
fan, but I think they
less
got good.
points.
It would have been a good.
So no Woody, no Woody.
It would have been a good point. It would have been good, but probably not as good as what you picked. And then one weird one is Scott and Styles from Teen Wolf.
Oh, that's a really good one. Oh man, that one we did not
I'm
talk
gonna
about, and that's a solid
And
one.
when I
I'm gonna
interrupted
give a
him,
shout out to my buddy Jackson, who's a listener. He actually threw that out to me, so I
Attaboy,
can take credit
Jackson.
for that one.
when we interrupted, you also said Harold and Kumar. Did we say that?
Yeah.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned that one.
There we go.
Yeah,
All right. Well, there it is.
yeah. No, it was great. A great list. It was tough, man. It's like I love doing this for you guys, but I also it drives me nuts because I get stressed out.
As you can see, Scott's he's a little strung out right now. It's not just the COVID.
As our listeners can see.
It's been a rough week.
Hey Scott. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott.
Of course.
Glad
You did great as
thank you,
usual.
guys.
glad you're still on your feet, even though I got fourth. I still love you.
I'm just doing my job as best of my ability. Good Lord willing, things will work out.
Hey Nate, have you drinking any of Scotch's bourbon yet?
I have.
Okay, is it good?
Oh, it's delicious.
Okay, there you go. See, I'm trying to mend the relationship here. Trying to like build the bridge back because
All right.
you've
Like
been
about
Mr.
4 months
Reliable.
ago, about 4 months ago, Nate was just like, "Oh, I love when Scott's the judge." And I'm like, now he's just like, "Oh man." He hates it.
In fairness, Scott, I ain't doing better with anybody else. So it's not. I don't think it's you.
Hey,
it may be me.
Scotch. Ever since you replaced him on the pod the one day, I mean that's
It's like
been
I said,
downhill.
I got dysentery.
Nate's getting
That's
real
right.
comfortable in last place.
Nice job, Brad. God damn it.
All right. Well,
Not nice job, Brad.
Thanks, Scott. Hey,
was a great number.
keep feeling better, man.
yeah,
We miss you.
We miss you, and everybody out there, get on and support Scott by going to scotchbeck.com. He has a couple of different cool T-shirts.
Yeah, we're starting a GoFundMe page for his COVID, recovery. So there's about 7 days left. So we'll post that on the socials.
Some friends of ours, a couple, they both had Scotch Beck shirts together, and they posted it online.
Yeah.
It was pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, so
people rocking the Scotch Beck gear. It's awesome.
Get shirts by the albums. Get in on it because it's all good stuff.
The Ballad of Bosco Jenkins.
There you go.
All right, Scott.
All right,
see you,
Scott.
man.
Be well, Scott. Thank you, man.
Take care, Scotty.
Like that.
Oh, well, that made my wiener soft. Thank you, Scott. Usually it's the other way around, but
you make
Scott's wiener congratulations,
soft.
Brad.
I'm feeling strong like bull.
Number 2 in 2022. It's disgusting, but let's talk about let's change the subject and let's move on to our next movie. Brad, what are we moving on to?
So next week we are moving on to a movie. Actually, it's in the universe of our second ever Bev's Video Kingdom old school in the garage pod was Mallrats, and Mallrats is by Kevin Smith. We're going to do a Kevin Smith movie. We're going to jump into the Kevin Smith universe, the View Askew universe, if you want to be a Kevin Smith fan.
If you want to be on Reddit.
If you want to be on Reddit. And we're going to go with Dogma, an interesting movie I saw in the theaters with my father. We watched it together. Interesting film, and it's a religious adjacent movie. And our draft category is going to be the most memorable Kevin Smith character.
I've got a great story about myself, about Zach in high school that has to do with Dogma that I'm going to tell in the next pod. So spoiler alert.
Dogma is a movie that there's so much I love about and there's so much that I hate about it. It's going to be a fun one because there's a lot to talk about.
It's a fun movie.
But it's an interesting movie, and we're going to have some fun talking about it. And our draft judge is going to be Nick.
It's my good buddy from college. My first year roommate in college, I was the beefy jock. He was the skater punk rocker. And the one thing that we bonded on, we became best friends quickly, was movies. And he introduced me to Kevin Smith movies. That's when I started watching Jay and Silent Bob. That's when I started watching Dogma. Best Man in His Wedding. He was in my wedding, and just great friends and huge Kevin Smith fan. He's a huge listener to the pod, follower of the pod. Talked about throwing out Clerks or Chasing Amy as Kevin Smith movies, but he's all about being on for Dogma. So yeah, can't wait to have my buddy Dave on.
There we go. So that's coming up next week. Good stuffs.
All right. Well, that's it, huh?
That's it.
Damn it, Brad.
Guys, there's like 51
I'm sulking.
W's available this year. I've got 2 of them. There's plenty left for y'all.
Yeah, we remember how many you have. Thanks, dude.
No. So, no, I'm just saying you guys have 0 right now. I have 2, but there's plenty left for you. That's all I'm saying.
1 belt. If we were talking about numbers, I have 1 belt. You have 2 wins.
Is that like one of those 2-sided ones from Ross where one side's black, one side's brown?
It's better than
just got 1 belt.
It's better than the elastic pants with 0 belt that you guys have.
Is Nick talking about practice?
From the Walmart.
Is Nick talking about practice?
Walmart.
The elastic pants with 0
The Walmart.
You no belt having motherfuckers. You heard me.
Oh, just because I have athletic pants on right now. No belt.
Fucking no belt with your joggers, bitch.
All right. We'll see you on the next pod. We out.
Hey, check us out on the socials and, like, subscribe, check us out, give us 5-star reviews on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and
Every time
keep doing this for y'all.
Every time we say socials, I'm always like, do the kids say socials?
That sounds so lame.
Do any of the kids listen to this podcast?
No, that's true. Our target demo's 44.
Like
No, yeah, we have a big bar in the bar graph of what age. It's like, are you in your 30s to 40s? Yeah, you're our listeners.
Although we welcome all of you youngsters to join us.
Oh, yeah. Just ask your parents, get permission before.
Yeah, they were like, can I listen to this podcast that has parental discretion advised before it?
All right. Hey, see y'all next
night,
week.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I wanna be at Beverly's, bringing me home with my movies, just a blind by, no reason why. I love this scene. brag, your favorite podcast. Let's start this thing.